That's right, our future Toronto Raptor Zach Edey just dominated in the Elite 8, putting up a 40-piece. Our 7-foot Canadian giant is out there cooking. Yes, the Toronto Raptors also just played a game, but I'm not too worried about that right now. We'll discuss that in this video, but we have bigger things to deal with. Our future piece. I know some people are split on him in the comment section saying, oh no, he's too slow to play in the league. Ben, you don't know what you're talking about with this guy, but I don't care about all of that here now at this point. I'm hyped to be watching some exciting basketball again. Again, playoff basketball is always a bit of fun, but it's good to have a team to actually root for because, again, no team in the NBA I get excited about. I get exhilarated about. Even though I'm rooting for some teams against some other ones, I just don't have that same of intensity. I don't have that same hype as I do a good Toronto Raptors game. But you know what? In college basketball, if I see a Canadian star prospect, if I see someone balling out, having a big game, having a monster night, I'm getting excited. Not to the same extent, but more than other teams across the league. And that's what Zach Edey is currently doing for me in March Madness. He's got me hyped right now. And winning, the Elite 8, I don't follow too much college basketball, but Zach Edey here in this game, 40 points, 16 rebounds. They have to foul him on every single possession in order to really slow him down because the man is an absolute bucket. The man is an automatic 2 points on the board. He catches it down low. He catches it deep in the paint. Again, I have no clue what this man is getting drafted. The Raptors have picks potentially 6, we have picks potentially 17, and we have pick potentially 31. That's sort of the rough estimates in terms of where our draft picks could potentially be. Again, we are hopeful we keep that top of the first round draft pick. I don't think there's any world we could make in good faith. Make that sort of reach at Zach Edey at that point. Maybe if he wins the sort of NCAA finals, that's where his projected draft stock will go. But with that 17th pick, and definitely at that second round selection, I wouldn't be shocked if the Raptors use one of these picks, especially if they can't bring back Christian Koloko, who we just made a video up on, a few hours ago here now at this point. But Zach Edey having a monster performance like this just makes me more excited about the guy. Again, he could be one of those slow-footed big men. There were moments just watching the game where he is getting diced in pick and roll. He doesn't move laterally very fast, but really everything else. I mean, he had a clutch block in that game. He's scoring at will in that paint. He has that great touch. I don't care if I'm wrong about a Canadian prospect because I'm not rooting against this guy. I'm not, dialing back the realism. I want to root for a 7'4" potential Canadian phenom. So shout out Zach Edey. Shout out to him for having a monster performance. And I'd love it, especially if he falls to our second round pick, if the Raptors could take a flyer on him and bring him into the organization to be a potential center prospect. You speed up that fleet of foot, man. The upside on this dude is crazy. But the Raptors, again, this is a Raptors channel. Raptors Digest. We're covering Raptors news. They did just play a game. And the Raptors games, again, they haven't been that great lately. There's been a lot of L's happening here recently. And again, another loss to a struggling Philadelphia 76ers team. The tank for 2024 is currently ongoing. And tank for Zach Edey. Let's go. No. But it is what it is. The Raptors are in a tough spot right now. They're still completely depleted. We were hopeful RJ Barrett would be able to return to action tonight, but wasn't able to get out there on the court. But, the Raptors, the more important thing before we dive into the stats and the stuff that was actually the product on the basketball court, we're still treading ahead of the Memphis Grizzlies. That one win that they had really hurt their sort of shot. But, man, the Grizzlies, the Blazers are two teams that just continuously lose a ton of games, which is killing me. It's making me feel real tough because, again, the Raptors, they got no margin for error to win any dubs, and they've lost 13 straight, haven't gained any ground on the Portland Trailblazers, really, but the one team, again, there's only 8 games left in the season, but the Spurs have been on a little win streak here now as of late, and if that win streak continues, and the Raptors losing streak continues, maybe that's the team that the Raptors could catch. I mean, there's a realistic possibility the Raptors lose out the rest of the year. This is a legitimate proposition. I brought it up in a recent video. I said it about a month ago. Will the Raptors win another game this season? They haven't yet, and it's been a month. So there's a realistic possibility they could lose out. So maybe if the Spurs, they keep winning games, they keep collecting W's, they're a team that's catchable by this Raptors group. So I'm praying. I'm the biggest Victor Wembanyama fan on planet Earth right now because we need those odds stacked in order to maximize our potential draft pick. Maybe they'll purposely sack games to close off the year to minimize the chances of us keeping their draft pick because, again, the Spurs are the team that's potentially stealing it, but we'll see how it goes. But I am hopeful that this team is able to not suffer all of these losses and have it be for no reason. That's the one hope. That's the one sort of saving grace that could potentially happen to close off this year. But the Raptors, again, did play some basketball, did play a basketball game here tonight. And again, it's the same story. The Raptors are completely depleted. They made this game was a little bit better to watch. There were some more positives in this one than definitely the New York Knicks game. I mean, Gary Trent Jr. is a bit more efficient. Again, still missed a good chunk of shots, but had 23 points. Bruce Brown had a really solid first half. Had 18 in this one. Nice to see him have a solid game again, increasing that sort of trade value for this year's trade deadline. 7-9 from the field, 3-4 from behind the three-point line. That's good to see. Kelly Olynyk, again, doing all the things he's been doing, facilitating really well. Still getting a lot of turnovers at the center spot, but 18 points, 11 assists, 3 steals. 5 rebounds, and then 5 turnovers there as well. So the starters, again, did pretty similar things. JFL, 11 points. Again, the stats don't really indicate anything crazy from Javon Freeman-Liberty, but from the eye test, this looked like one of his better games of the season since he's been called up to the main group. Again, we're hoping for something a little bit more from the guy that was leading the G League in scoring, but tonight I thought he had a good attitude, really hustled, really pushed hard out there at the guard position for the Toronto Raptors here now at this point. But off the bench, we got some, a little bench unit at the end there. Almost tried to ruin the tank for the Toronto Raptors, but I don't know. We're depleted here now at this point. Garrett Temple's our top guy, but Jordan Nwora had a solid game in this one. I mean, 8-18. He had a nasty dunk in this game as well. Had the bench hyped even when the team was down, by a significant margin. That was cool to see Jordan Nwora get some buckets. He's been probably our, take a flyer on this guy, the most impressive player out of that core group. There's nights where he explodes in limited minutes. I've been impressed. The effort out there on the court from Jordan Nwora flows through the screen. Because there's moments, and Darko Rajakovic has even talked about it, to close off this year, the Raptors look a little bit depleted. They're just a bit mentally out of it. It makes sense. You don't have 7 of your best players, and you're already a team that trade away your 2 top guys. So it's going to be tough to win games. But you want players to come out with energy, come out with fight and fire. And even though Nwora hasn't been perfect, still has limitations on the defensive end, I like what I've seen from him out of the sort of core group of players that have been, I guess the Raptors are kind of taking flyers on. So shout out to Jordan Nwora for performing at that level. Again, did I even mention Grady Dick? 12 points in the starting lineup, 1 of 3 from the field. Doing solid things out there. Nothing crazy, but, serviceable sort of performance on a team that's struggling. Kobe Simmons also looked all right in his 16 minutes. I mean, no one's really standing out. We're getting slaughtered in these games. It's tough to really have some major positive takeaways from them, but it's hard to have complete negativity as well. The Raptors, we have 8 games left of this season, then all the fun will probably start. We're praying for lottery balls and hopefully a retooling that will quickly turn around this team for next season. That's my one hope, but maybe Zach Edey can be that guy. I'm locked in on March Madness. I want to see Purdue go all the way. Our Canadian prospect, take us home, Zach Edey, but you guys are the best thing as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.